Okay, we're back at session, another session with the gentlemen who have served proudly in the world's greatest Air Force and the Navy, Navy myself, but the Army also. So with that in mind, let's talk about types of therapeutic processes. In particular, let's talk about CBT. And I'd like to start with you, sir.
When I went through the cognitive CPT, the cognitive process of therapy, it was 12 weeks, but they actually, it was supposed to be 12 weeks, they actually did it in 3, we did 4, we did three sessions a week.
Yeah.
And so it was the toughest, besides the actual combat, it was the toughest thing since being in combat that I experienced in my life. Because we're so used to bottling things up, especially as men. We're not used to sharing our emotions and having to. So I bottled everything up and I just put it back here and just left it back there. And having to process everything and actually think about processing it was crazy. They had us when we first got there. They write a detailed essay what your combat experience was like. And as you're writing stuff down, you remember stuff that you don't remember just thinking about it. It just putting it on paper made me recall little minute details of situations, and that was hard in itself. Things that I didn't think about in years, and I mean even the way the sun fell on my skin, what triggered other thoughts like
What was it? Do you think it was helpful, even though it was hard? Do you think
it was helpful in the end? I couldn't see it going through it. I couldn't see the help. I wanted to leave. My uncle. I grew up in a military family. My uncle was Superman to me, and he's the man that made me stay. He said, "I'm going through the same thing right now," and that's what made me stay. But actually seeing it. I'm reading it on the paper to the therapist every day, reading my essay to her every session I had to read it. And the thought is that if you keep reading this and keep processing it, that eventually you'll be insensitive to it.
Yeah.
And it happened. I mean, it's never going to get to the point for me where it don't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
But it's got to the point where, okay, it bothers me, but I don't have to react this way to it anymore. I could, I have different tools and different ways to process it and stay grounded. Stay what they want to say, grounded. And that treatment really helps me stay grounded now. Now I can think about it. I start to feel worked up, and then I mean, there's no ceiling tiles in here, but I get counting ceiling tiles, and that keeps me here in the moment. Instead of I get in my mind, and I'll be back in country. And, so I stay here in the moment by counting ceiling tiles, counting floor planks, cup things that are blue in the room, anything just to keep me here in the moment. Yeah. If it wasn't for that therapy,
the CPT. So how long? So you only did it for 12 weeks?
I did it for 4 weeks, 3 sessions a week.
So are you still practicing it now?
Yes. Okay. I still have my worksheets.
Okay. Well, good. So earlier today, when you guys were here in the session and you saw some of the stuff that we were doing here, was that effective? Do you think that would be effective also to help veterans manage PTSD also?
Definitely.
Okay. You said some very important things during the class session that really struck me. Is number one is how intelligent you are, and it wasn't just me who thought that. The other people that was in the room saw it too. When you talked about them putting you in a session where they got everybody exposing what they went through in their combat experience, rather than having a one-on-one session or so you can actually process things on your own time, rather than being distracted by somebody else's stuff, which keeps you from focusing on yourself. I mean, I thought that was brilliant on your part. Any other type therapy you think that is effective besides cognitive behavioral therapy?
Group therapy is very effective for me. Sometimes just to actually know that I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Have these feelings. I may not share it much in group. Because I don't like talking about my own stuff.
Yeah.
And but to know that I'm not the only one that has these feelings, or I may not be the only one that has these scared of these type of things. Have these fears. It helps out a lot to realize. But so group therapy works for me. Sometimes.
Okay, so you said sometimes. So it depends on where you at in the here and now when you come in that day.
Yes, sir.
Right. It depends on how high the anxiety is or how low it is or what has already happened prior to you coming in there. Okay. So is there any kind of outlet where you can share with somebody that, hey, today I'm not feeling this group thing. Can I see somebody to go one-on-one session? Do they give you an opportunity to do that?
That opportunity at the VA.
Do you think that they should do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you would think that as professional therapists or counselors that they would already know that you can't just do the group thing every time, because you need that diversity so you can stay balanced rather than being one-dimensional. It's like what we talked about earlier in class today when we talked about the black and white dichotomy, where it's either this way or it's that way. Because PTSD is very complex, and regardless of how many PhDs or master's degrees somebody have, we're all going to discover something new with every individual. Right? Would you agree with that?
Definitely agree with that.
So, your experience at the VA hospital, did you?
I'm sorry to laugh. First and foremost, I'm not here to bash the military. I'm not here to bash the VA. I just want to say that quick and painless. But my experience with the VA for the past, since I've been back since 2009, has not been nothing but shameful and unhelpful for me. Because group, to me, I never been a CBT. Never tried it. Never had the chance. I had the chance to. It's just that it takes, for me to get where I need to go, and me dealing with all my pains. It's just hard, first of all. So and the only thing I really do relate to and that actually helped me was group therapy. But group therapy is hard because I like keeping stuff in. What they taught us in the infantry was just your job first of all, and after that, boom, 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 get it done, yada, yada, this, that, and the third. And forget about your problems, you can take care of your problems. When I was in the military, I had a lot of problems. And let's just say it wasn't helped. So coming out, group helps me out sometimes, but to just say that, hey, I would like to just talk to somebody personally, it's actually hard to find. I actually, rely on him. He's the one that's been really helping me out a lot.
Okay. Well, you found your way here. So what is it? Is it the camaraderie of being a veteran? There's a certain amount of trust there also. Yeah.
Well, it is, cause don't forget, when I first got back, I did almost something stupid to where I almost wanted to take my life away, and because of him, I'm still here today. So I would like to say thank you.
Right. All right. Thank you.